And then the next level is the loft, and the top level is the bocce court, because we have to have a bocce court when we take breaks. And so this overlooks the Atlanta skyline and the city of Decatur. So here you can see the framing device, and this is in the little bunk room, and this is up in the loft. Here's the roof terrace. And so the concept was about compression and expansion. So you walk through the stair in this compressive space, and then you walk through and are taken by the view out to the existing house. And you see the way that the existing residence and the new building are mutually dependent. One is a framing device really acknowledging both the materiality of the existing house, the marble house. It's made of hard coat stucco, which is the same material as Lightroom, but here it's left unrendered, and there is actually no marble that I can find in the marble house. It's scored stucco. So here you are on axis with the marble house and this beautiful tree, and then you turn and walk into the entry stair, and the studio and the roof terrace. And there's the dialogue between new and old, right here. So this is just about a block off the Decatur Square. So that's our home base, and we like working there. Okay, then I had a client that was practicing. He had a band called Train. It's a band here in Atlanta, and he was practicing behind Lightroom and was watching the building go up, and then he came over and said, I want something like that. And this is my wife, and so we started working on a design for a house right near City Hall East on Glen Iris. And then we finished, and we were about to break ground, and his wife came over and said, we're going to get a divorce. And I thought, oh, and she said, but I think I want the house. And you know, I thought immediately, well, I guess that means we have to cut it in half, because he'll get this half and she'll get this half. So I started doing a scheme that, you know, looked at what would happen if the house changed. How would the house change with the idea of a divorce? But what was beautiful about it is that Diane said, no, I want to build it. I still want to build it. All I want to do is be able to afford it. So what we did is we took the single-family house and made it into a duplex by taking the music studio and turning that into a rental unit. And so now she has a duplex, and she's remarried, and the house is intact the way it was designed. And so here's Glen Iris right here, and they're still friends, which is great. We helped them buy this piece of property that allowed the site to be very long and narrow. This is where it originally was. And then we sold this off as a rental property. And then this is the site for the Bush residence. And it's really very much about an urban concept. It's about the house as an urban experience, as a city. And part of the urban fabric. This was really before the old Fourth Ward started to regentrify. And so the concept here, you can see in this sketch, this main axis and these minor axes running through. Each one of these volumes is a different function. This is the painting studio, this is the music studio, this is living, dining, kitchen. And so it really was a kind of amalgam or urban morphology that was informing this project. And so here you can see the main gallery. The wife, Diane, is a painter. This is her studio. And then each one of these separate volumes, all open and looking out toward this courtyard. It actually came from a trip I took to Savannah. I was really interested in the way they would leave in the Savannah plan the center of those squares open as a park. And so I thought, why not have that as the courtyard, which looks out to the view of City Hall East and that beautiful tower. So that's really where the concept came from. And so here it is. And so she had perseverance, and she built the house and has fallen in love again. So that is wonderful. This is her kitchen, which we repurposed from IKEA, Joseph and Anton. And then here is the big space with the minor axes that are expressed by these tall windows that frame views out to the trees. And there's the view of the main space back toward the kitchen, and this very Wrightian anchor in the center of the space with the big window looking out and bringing in this beautiful ambient light. So the next project really goes back to Duck Hill and the experience in Duck Hill, because this was my grandparents' house in Duck Hill. It's a dog trot. And this is a shotgun. And so, shotgun shack, sorry. It's not a shotgun, it's a house, sorry. But this is actually a project in Oakhurst. And this was one of our clients that had hired us to design a website, and then